In Cutting Through Rocks, we meet Sara. She lives in a remote Iranian village, I think the northern part of Iran, and she is divorced, and she's in her late 30s, and she decides that she is going to run for the local council. The local council in the area, they've never had a female in their council before, and so she has a bit of an uphill battle. But she goes out on the streets and goes for the young, like the female vote and the young vote. A lot of females in that region that never voted before, they've never had any inclination to vote because they never had anyone to support before. So she ends up getting a lot of votes. I think she ends up coming first, and she gets elected into the local council. Once elected into the council, she still has more uphill battles. She gets a lot of barriers along the way, especially the men in the village. They really try to make her job as difficult as possible, but she's able to make a lot of progress in her village, able to bring like gas and electricity to people in her village, and she's able to tour the village and speak to the young women who are basically their whole life is just like getting married when they're young and not working and not studying. And she really wants to change the current situation for young women in her village. Cutting Through Rocks is directed by Sara Khaki and Mohammadreza Eyni, and this film is both of their directorial debut. Cutting Through Rocks is a fantastic documentary. I highly recommend checking out Cutting Through Rocks. It's such an eye-opening view of a part of Iran that I've never really seen before, a part of Iran that we never get to see in other documentaries or fictional narrative films. It's like you see on social media and on the internet, you talk about, there's young girls and young women, teenage girls who they're getting married, they're getting forced into arranged marriages with older men, and you think, does that still happen anymore? And this documentary just shows you what's happening in some parts of the world, some parts of Iran, and the people in this village it's a custom, it's a tradition, and they're not shy about it. It's like, okay, this is what happens when you're in high school, when you're 11, 12, 13, 14. Your family, your parents will force you to get married to an older man, like in his 30s, 40s, much older than you, and you have no choice. And Sarah, the woman who is elected in the council, she's one of those young girls. Her parents forced her to get married when she was a young teenager, and then she had to endure this marriage for 20 years, and eventually she got married. She got out of the marriage. She didn't have any kids, and now she's in her about 37 years old, and she's divorced, and now she's running for council. It's so inspiring. Like she's not doing it for herself. She's doing it for other women in her village, and she's so inspiring. And the other young women in the village, they see her living her life. She's divorced, and she can do anything she wants. She can ride a motorcycle around the village, and the young women are so inspired to see her. But it's just so frustrating to see that they're so inspired to live the same life, an independent life, and study and work and get a job and have a career, but their parents forced them to get married at such a young age. So it's such an uphill battle for Sarah, and such an uphill battle for the young women in this village. So it's inspiring and frustrating and heartbreaking at the same time to see what's happening to these young women in this village. And I don't want to spoil what happens in the film, but what these men in this village try to do to this Sarah, when she's trying to change things in this village, when she's in the council, like something happens to Sarah about half an hour before the film ends, and it's just so shocking and so upsetting and makes you angry and frustrated, and what they try to do to her is just unbelievable, and it really made me angry and frustrated. And I was happy that there was I was happy that she was able to overcome this obstacle, but it just made me so angry that the men in some anonymous complaints about her to the government in that area just was able to do this to her. So it really, really made me angry. I give Cutting Through Rocks 4.5 stars out of 5. Definitely, it's very early on in 2025, but this Cutting Through Rocks will definitely be one of the best films, one of the best documentary of 2025. I highly recommend checking out Cutting Through Rocks if you're interested in documentaries, if you're interested in what's happening in Iran at the moment. It's engaging. Sara is a very engaging person. She really cares about other people and shines through this film. And it's such an eye-opening look at what's happening in some parts of Iran. And I really highly recommend checking out Cutting Through Rocks, a fantastic documentary. What did you think of Cutting Through Rocks? Thanks for watching. Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.